Hey, good evening, everybody. It's Monday the 11th. Woohoo! Yeah, you can see I'm a little tired. I do apologise. I was doing something the weekend. Can't remember what it was. But anyway, I thought we'd do a very quick debrief. It's not going to be a very long thing as such, but there are a few things in which I'd like to discuss and talk about. And I've got some co-hosts with me this evening. Unfortunately, I'd forgotten to speak to Malcolm about it, and he's obviously pretty busy on a Monday with duties to do with M4H, so he won't be with us. Stefan may pop in, but he's still feeling a bit rough, so possibly not. We'll see. Anyway, so let's have a quick look to see who is here. There is 12 people watching after all. Go for it. Painting says hello. Notification is on. That doesn't necessarily mean he is here, but there you go. Dita is there. Evening Plastic Heroes. Hey, you are indeed a hero yourself. That's me just saying, how are you feeling? We'll come back to that in a minute. No doubt that will come up in quite a bit of the conversation. Lisa, the lovely Lisa's there. Good evening, Lisa. How are you doing?
Lisa.
Plastic Alchemist, Nunu's there. Good evening, sir. Tired but well. How about you? Yeah, we'll cover that in a minute. I'm pretty out of that. Be the veteran Mikey's there saying, evening, James. Hope you caught up with some sleep. Yeah, last week I did. Jeremy is there saying, good afternoon, all from Idaho in USA. Hi, hello. How you doing? And our crazy loco dancing away in the background. Howdy, everyone. Indeed, howdy.
Hey, Mike.
Howdy, Dieter is just saying he's finishing the tractor, tired with you, but soldiering on indeed. Yeah. A little bit of chat between yourselves. Obviously, that is the way to do it. If you're in the chat, talk to one another because you're all watching the same thing. So, what a weekend. I think we'll go over to Carl first because he's busy cleaning out his pipes. Always a good time to interrupt someone. How are you, buddy?
A little tired. I got a good sleep this morning. I had actual lie-in, so I didn't get up until I think it was about 10:30 this morning. And yeah, I've been pottering about all day doing pretty much nothing. We've just had tea and we come to do this. I'm sitting down. I thought I might as well give the airbrush a good clean, seeing as how much use it got through the weekend. I was just stripped down and a clean for me.
How about yourself, Steph? How are you feeling?
I'm knackered.
You look how I feel.
I cleared off as soon as the auction had finished because I hit that horrible wall. And went in, spent half an hour with the bird, went to bed, got up, feeling a bit there. Came to do the show for Models for Heroes, and about 10 minutes in, I just crashed. I hit that wall again, finished the show, went back to bed and didn't get up till about 4 o'clock. And I'm still in my pajamas. I'm doing a show in my pajamas.
Nice. Nice. Well, you know, it is an English trait that we go shopping in our supermarkets, apparently.
No.
Oh, that's right. No, you're not in Essex, are you? Sorry, I forgot. Yeah. Sorry to all those in Essex. Well, thank you for asking. Yeah, I am.
Well, we were.
I'm incredibly knackered. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm incredibly knackered, incredibly blown away by the weekend and how it all went.
Yes.
But hanging, I think, would be a very good word. My wife, my lovely wife, been very, very supportive over the weekend, bringing coffee and pizza and all sorts of stuff. So I already knew that there may be a consequence for that. And she informed me just before I finished the show yesterday that there was a garden waiting to be worked on today. But unfortunately, I think because she was up most of the time doing working or whatever, She was more beaten than I was, so she had
Oh, dear.
something to eat and went to bed. So we didn't get in the garden, which is a shame. And unfortunately, it's going to be raining for the next 2 days. So,
Bless you.
gutted.
Huge
Happy
thanks
days.
to the birds. Thank you very much, ladies. Really appreciate the support you've given us and everybody else's wives and friends and all that stuff.
Indeed.
Yeah, absolutely. Go on.
I was just making a noise.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I said it yesterday, and it's worthy of saying again. You know, we couldn't get our free time if it wasn't for other people carrying the load for a weekend over this sort of event. So you're all superstars, and we very much appreciate it. So Mike is just saying there, yeah, poor Steph looks like he's about to face plant the bench and start snoring. Yeah, well, we did have to nudge him as we went live, in fairness. But yeah, Waffle Dozer saying congratulations, guys, on a massive effort and success. Thank you. Mike is just saying that it's all right, Steph. You probably have been run over by you would have been probably run over on the American auction. Yeah, damn right you would have.
Yeah, if I'd have done that, I wouldn't be here now. I'd still be in bed.
No. Dieter saying, comfy kilt here, feeling your knackeredness. I wonder I had to reread that just in case I was about to drop a clanger, so to speak.
I'm feeling your knackeredness.
Yeah, he's not feeling my knackeredness.
I'm feeling your knackers under my kilt. I don't know what they're doing there. Anyway, listening while dropping a trailer. That's great to see that you're back at work. Crazy is definitely name and nature. Don Predator saying good evening.
Evening, Don.
Wifey Dave saying footnote: Windows sniped me in the end. Bloody Windows update started freezing my laptop, so went to bed in utter frustration.
Oh, bless it.
If it makes you feel any better, on Sunday, I'd noticed that my computer was potentially misbehaving and I wasn't quite sure why. So I thought I'll just double check to see if its updates are up to dated and all that, up to dated. And lo and behold, yeah, of course, my computer also decided it needed an update. So I was like, oh, it'll be quick because I did an update 2-3 days ago. It'll be fine. Yeah, 40 minutes later. God damn it. But yeah, so I did that during the build time, so that was okay. Plastic Alchemist says, unfortunately, I wasn't as present as I would like to be this year, but nevertheless, you guys braved it very well. Well, no, that's fine, buddy. You popped in. I know you were there, so that's cool. People are starting to come in now and make comments and stuff. Harry's there saying, good evening, everyone. Hi, Harry.
Hi, Harry.
Dieter says, you guys are really need to go to bed when making such hilarious trains of thought. Yeah, we are very much. The scary part is we're all pretty much linked in the same sort of depth of mind, so that could be interesting. Climbers Model says, was an awesome weekend, but can't wait to be part of the Aussie and New Zealand team next year. Hey.
Yes.
We're going to talk about that in a little bit.
Yes.
John Mayfield is there saying, good evening, all. Crazy Loca is just saying, originally planned on being off today to recover. Boss asked me to come in today and didn't need he didn't need to ask too hard. I should imagine after the spending you need the extra money.
Yeah.
So of course I'm working hard, just funds of thumb nose at boss. Yeah. Waffa Dave saying about right. It took me 50 minutes this morning to update. Oh, yeah. Always the way. Never mind. Michael was there. He said, I was on and off through the weekend. Loved it all. Was there a final amount raised that I missed? Thank you. Well, it's funny you should say that. That's why we're here today for the debrief. But we'll come to it in a minute. I'll try and make sure I can keep up with the comments as long as John doesn't keep dropping them in there to stop me from doing that. Love the philosophy, mates. Yes, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
And John's just saying, already have my kit sorted for the next 2 years.
Oh,
yeah. Yeah, John, go on.
He bought 2 kits and he's got 3 models out of it.
Yes.
Well, You say that, but that might not be true. Well, no, the statement's true, but it might not fit in for next year. You never know.
Oh yes, I forgot about that.
Yes.
Yeah, I did pre-warn him, but
Oh,
hey ho. Americans will be Americans. Absolutely, yeah. That's a comment in relation to the auctions. If you missed the American auctions, and you've got a spare little while, please go back to the American parts. The reason being is they did auctions all the way through the weekend, and boy, was it entertaining to watch. So you won't know the outcome, obviously, if you've not watched any of it. So
whenever you do, don't try and bid on it if you watch it.
Yeah, don't bid, obviously. But no, yeah, it's certainly worth a watch because I mean, I was in the house with them on Saturday, and it was very entertaining. And I sat here for as long as I could last night. I confess, with a very small whiskey, and I decided that I better go to bed before I get on there live, half cut. So, yeah, sorry to all the Americans. I maybe should have held back with the whiskey for a little while and come and joined you, because you had the last episode was only 3 hours or so. So I could have managed that, but anyway, it doesn't matter. You're awesome. Is the basics of it all. Now, before I go back to the chat, there is something which I really must do before I go any further, and that is give a big shout out to all of our donors, the people that gave us bits and pieces to auction, etc. In many ways, but not all of them did that, but they did support us. So first off, of course, is StreamYard. Nadine from StreamYard was absolutely super, and StreamYard have lent the software, shall we say, for the weekend. We're on a free trial, but it's incredibly generous of them. They put us on quite a high package to make sure we had all our requirements were met, and we're super grateful to them this year for that. No doubt I'll be sending you an email in the coming days. I'm fairly certain. I think I know Nadine relatively well. I think she'll probably offer the same for next year, but we'll see. And if you are interested in doing live streaming, it's an incredibly intuitive package and platform to use to do live stream. So check them out if you're thinking about it. Give it a go. They do a free introduction. And you can play around with it for 7 days or more, and see how you feel. But it's definitely worth doing if that's what you want to do. So I just realised I planned this really well. You've come in as a visitor, so I can't get you to talk about all the sponsors, but that's fine. It's okay. What we're going to do next is, obviously, we're going to talk about the people that donated stuff to us. They are all corporate, if you like. They're all from businesses of some description or other, bar one. And that's really, really generous of the businesses that we go to buy our stuff from to support the community and what we did. So super, super good. Steph, why don't you tell us a little about how the auction went in Australia, and then I'll do the sponsors.
Yep, the auction in Australia went really, really well. We raised over $400 on 4 lots.
Wow.
Which was
that's cool.
bloody ridiculous considering what there was. There's 2 that really stick in my mind. That was the pre-release Mariner.
Yeah.
Which we've never had on an auction. We've had latest releases and things like that, but we've never had a pre-release. So that was a good one. And which was from Hobbits, Australia, I want to say.
Correct, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we also had Metro Hobbies on, which gave us a great prize as well. Thank you very much to those guys. And the other one that stuck in my mind that went for an absolute song was the SMS bundle.
Yes, I wanted that bundle. It was
that
lovely.
Was awesome. That was 2 lots of paintbrushes, clips, sanding sticks, a load of paints, and an airbrush. And I have a
Yeah.
feeling I've missed something out on there.
Yeah, so there was some lacquer paints, some acrylic paints, some brushes, some sanders, an airbrush, and some crocodile clip standy up thingies. I don't know what the correct term is, but yeah, so painting aids basically. Yeah, I mean, I want to say to I'm not sure the sponsors will be watching at this time of night anyway, or they may not even see this, but I want to just make you guys aware. These guys had very short notice of the auction, and they pulled out the stops really well for us. And as Steph said, one of them was a pre-release, so it was something that hadn't hit the shelves in Australia. So really, really grateful for that. You're absolute superstars, and I am already aware from conversations we'd had up to the lead up for the event that all three are signed up for next year already. So we're going to be a lot more organised, and that'll come very apparent as we go through this little debrief, because there are things in which we will let you know. So, excuse me.
Hopefully, I'll get more than 6 weeks' notice.
So in the UK, obviously, we had an auction as well. Some people that had been with us previously in previous years, and some new people as well. A massive thank you to those. I will catch up with the chat in a minute, so bear with us. But I just want to quickly go through the UK people that donated stuff from the business. So obviously, Airfix to start with. A great Dale and the team are a great bunch of people, and they are very much behind Models for Heroes anyway. But they gave us a couple of bundles of stuff, which was great, absolutely fantastic. Thank you, Dale and the team. And I unless I haven't bought him coffee at Telford, I'm sure they'll be here next year as well. So thank you again. Another great supporter of Models for Heroes is EBMA. They gave us a bundle of some of their desk organisers or bench organising bits and pieces. A great supporter for Models for Heroes. And in fact, I can say that Andy does make a particular bench tidy specifically for the charity at no cost. So yeah, super guy, and some very great stuff to have on your to organise your bench up with. Now, the moment of the night was the Hobby Company Limited. They gave us something quite special as well, which was a white boxing of a Tamiya P38. A couple of people that will remain nameless got locked into a little bit of battle over it, and I think the right person won, if I'm honest. So congratulations to them. But thank you so much for finding something special for us for this auction. It was quite a surprise, I must say. Mason's Models up next. A sponsor that came with us last year and has been more than happy to be with us this year. A local hobby shop, and a great bunch of guys there as well. So thank you again for your support. Fred from Modelers United, a super guy, again a local shop business providing an awesome kit, which was the Apache helicopter, wasn't it? In 135th,
135th.
Yeah,
it's
special
edition. Limited edition, yes.
That was it.
Limited edition, yeah. So again, something quite special. But bear in mind that's a bricks and mortar shop. Both of those guys, Masons and Modelers United, they're both bricks and mortar shops. So for them to give us a donation to auction off is incredibly valued. Thank you very much. So if you live in the areas and you know that shop, check them out and go in there, shake their hand, say thank you to them, and buy a kit. Another great supporter of Models for Heroes is Rubicon Models. Steve over at Rubicon Models is a fantastic guy, really generous and helpful with Models for Heroes, and always willing to no questions asked. Send a box over for auctions and stuff. So a massive thank you to him. Again, another bricks and mortar shop, Salisbury Model Centre. Clive is an awesome guy, very knowledgeable in the hobby, and he wanted to get involved this year. So thank you very much for being with us. I'm really, really grateful. Another new one for this year was Two Thin Coats. So that's the Duncan Rose Two Thin Coats. Thank you very much, guys, for being involved with us. You may not recognize the logo because it has gone for a little bit of a change in the last couple of months. So but an awesome paint. Carl is actually just displaying some there. Absolutely awesome paint, and they were very kind and gave us a whole box of paint, which was from their Wave 1
really good paint.
launch. So if you are interested in that sort of thing, just be aware that Two Thin Coats have launched Wave 3 this year. The way they do it is they launch a wave, about 30 bottles of paint, I think it is, in which you can pre-order, and that's helped them estimate how sort of a crowdfunding way of doing things. Quite an interesting way of doing things. But if you're interested in that sort of thing, go check them out. Now's a good time to get that Wave 3 because it's I think there are some levels where you can get a bit of discount or not. I've not been over them myself. Just been too busy to. I'm going to kick myself, but I know the earlier you go, the better the deals are. So they give you a certain amount for tiers and all that sort of stuff. Anyway, enough of my chat. But yeah, so the UK auction again was fantastic. Steph, do you want to talk about just how it went?
Yeah, went really, really well. I think, can I say how much we made?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, made just under £1,000 with that. So that went really well. Really enjoy. I love doing the auctions, but yeah, I can't do the American ones. It's just too late for me. I'm just verily broken. I think last year when I did all 3 auctions, I was broken for 3 days.
Yeah. Well, you were under orders not to do it. Well, I say under orders. You didn't put up a fight, but that's one of the reasons why we broke it up the way we did, was because we wanted to make sure that people didn't take on too much. There'll be a slight change again for next year in relation to that, but we'll talk about that later, because I'm very wary of the fact that all the volunteers, all the guys that are helping put the event together and run the event, we certainly can pinpoint certain areas which we need to adjust for next year, because you've got to make sure we take the breaks and the rest, myself included, and hands up. Yes. I failed at that this year, so that can't happen again. Carl, do you want to, before I get onto the Americans, do you want to quickly just go through the chat a little bit?
Yeah, can do. Let me see where we got to. We're in the chat. So there's been quite a lot of chat since we stopped talking. So, Dieter was there. Did we say that Dieter's finishing his track? Did we get that far?
Yes.
Yeah. We got the last one we read out was Crazy's comment about Americans will be Americans just under John Mayfield.
Yep.
So if I do the next one, you'll catch up with me, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Crazy Loco's just saying Sunday was epic. Yeah, he's talking about the auctions. We're going to talk about that in a minute. I'll do the next one. Are you there? Yeah. Billy Veteran. Cool, thanks. Billy Veteran Mikey says, "Cool, blimey, how many Mikes Michaels are there here?" Yeah, there's lots.
Too many.
It's almost like we're talking over YouTube.
Yeah.
There we go.
So Crazy Loca is saying just one Loca. Thankfully, there's just one Crazy Loca.
Yep.
Hugh Gordon saying that was no auction last night. That was a fat wallet competition. Yes, I watched some of it last night, the last one, and it was a thing to watch, like it's a thing to see.
Yeah, I'm going to catch up on those tomorrow.
Yeah. We've got Crazy Loca again saying it's all for a great cause, so we could enjoy the fellowship, build models, and be big kids. Most definitely. There we are, grateful for allowing us to gather, for us to gather and help. Oh, the help was very, very much appreciated. Here's to next year. And he's saying, are they taking lessons? And he was drooling over the Mariner. But he's also saying that he was so glad that it went to someone that will use it. It's a great bundle. That's that SMS stuff he's talking about.
Yeah.
And Dieter is saying that, StreamYard is a superb platform. I learned about them through my IT background after seeing it being used by Bow Marathon scale models for vets 3 years ago. Seemed all participants enjoyed it. It's easy to use features and much more. So yes, it is a very easy piece of software to use. Very intuitive. That's the word I'm looking for. Plastic Alchemist saying that sounds like a great bundle. There were some fantastic bundles through all the auctions. Go for it. Paintings here saying hello.
Hello.
And Michael is saying, I love using SMS paints. Crazy Logo saying, well done, UK. That's probably for our auction.
Thank you.
And Grant S saying, that's great. There were some awesome kits available. There was. I managed to pick one up myself as well. And Harry is saying, well done, everyone who participated in the auctions. I do believe that Harry walked away with a nice little bundle last night as well.
He did.
Yep.
He did indeed.
And, Facebook user is saying, good day, boys. Hope that you are all well. I'm not sure who Facebook user is. Give me one.
That's Ray Davis.
Yeah,
Ray Davis.
It is Ray Davis. Okay.
Yeah.
I hope you're doing well, Ray. And that is us caught up with chat.
Super, thank you. So one other thing that I missed out of the UK auction was our lovely Malcolm for Models for Heroes had organised a couple of surprises. They were a couple of 135th kits, well, not kits, paint tanks that were already been built and painted, etc. By the lovely Al Murray that he'd signed the bottom just to aggravate Malcolm, on purpose. And they went really well.
Bottom?
Yeah, he signed Malcolm's bottom, and then he signed the tanks as well. So, that was quite cool. A correction does need to be made on one of those lots. Someone made a bid afterwards, and I allowed it to go through. But in fairness, I did realise he was joking, so that has been withdrawn. And someone else won, so that's cool. They've been contacted because I sat here in a chair and just looked at myself in the mirror, and it's all been discussed. It's sorted, no problem. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. But the lovely John was a little bit stressed because he thought he dropped a clanger, but I was being really mean to him. Not that I didn't do that during the weekend at all at any point whatsoever. But there you go. Help them out soon. Yes. Let's talk about the Americans. Well, what can we say about the Americans? Let's start with the sheer fact that Darren and Scott have got some contacts in the industry through the podcasting world and other things in which they do. And they're two very friendly and great guys. So when they contacted the people, their supporters, their sponsors, because some of them are sponsors for the podcasts, they didn't really have a very long conversation. It was more a case of, it'll be in the post tomorrow. So a massive thank you for them for organising that. I certainly wouldn't have been able to get some of the things which they got because I don't know the people, and I would feel very cheeky to ask. So, fantastic. So for all the people that donated stuff, again, these are all but one of them are businesses. So, it's the businesses supporting the community, which then support another element of the community. So it all links. It's just amazing. But they actually did so well that they ended up with around about 50 lots. Which clearly they weren't going to do in one night. So they spread it out through the whole weekend. The first auction, I seem to remember, they raised about just over $1,000, which is more than ample. But not to be outdone, the following auction, everybody got their wallets out, and they raised $3,317. And then the finale last night was a bloodbath with smiles, I think would be the best way to put it. Those wallets were being slapped around all over the place, and it really wasn't a case of put your wallet in the middle of the table and see which one you pick up later. Wow, there was some serious money being thrown around.
A lot of snipers in the grass as well.
Oh yeah, that the people watching really seriously loved the one-upmanship of sniping that kit and that decal set. I mean, one decal set, for example, I can't remember which one it was, but I mean, it was donated. Not donated. Yeah, donated by what were they called? It'll come to me. Sorry. I've just realised I haven't got their logo. Bear with me. Let me find that, because
Crazy Loco should know who it was.
Yeah, well, he will, but I should be there. He tells you, hopefully. Furball, that was who it was. Furball decals. One of the sets that they gave to be auctioned went for $100. And that's just what?
One of the decal sets went for $220, I believe.
Oh, okay, right, yeah. No, I missed that one.
Signed.
Yes, that's right. Yes, yeah. I mean, again, one of the great things for the people that were in that auction, some of the guys that donated stuff were watching, and I know for a fact that El Presidente, for example, had won a lot from Bases by Bill, and that lot was 3 types of bases, so all aircraft carrier bases, but there was 172nd, a 148th, and a 132nd, I think, something like that. Yep. And one of the kits was people. I think people were just sounding everybody out in the night, and it was one of the first auction lots. But it wasn't really moving very fast. So El Presidente said, "Do you know what? He could have one of my bases that goes with that. I think it was a 148 kit. I'll give them that. So that'll sweeten the deal." And Bill, bless him, Bases by Bill were watching. So they went, no. You keep it. We'll pop another one in. That's not a problem. So it was things like that was adding value to some of the lots all the way through. Rick Lawler was in the studio, and he organised a few things that weren't meant to be. I signed books, and the ability to sit with him at the Nats if someone bought a particular product, which was, I think, the face, not face. What am I thinking of? One of the little vignettes you get in the box with all the stuff you need to do it.
I know Rick's in the
facade
at the moment, so he'll let us know, hopefully.
No, it was facade. One of the facade kits. I mean, that sort of thing is pretty priceless. Let's be honest. To sit down with someone that does that stuff for a living, and the uber amount of stuff you could glean from that is, that you can put a price on it, clearly, but it was phenomenal. So a great well done to all of those people. I will go through. I'm a little annoyed with myself. So I will go through the sponsors in just 2 seconds. I just want to make sure that I thought I downloaded the logo, and I can't find it for a sec. Does someone want to just double check that we've gone through all of the? No, I haven't. That's fine. Don't worry. Okay. So someone want to quickly go through the chat, and I will try to make sure I've got this logo, because I want to display it.
Yeah, can do. Do you want me to, Carl, or are you on it?
Yeah, we are up to we were up to Ray, so it's Crazy Loco next.
Cool. Oh, I can't do it, can I?
You can't.
No, you can't.
I will do it.
What a
I'll
shame.
teach you for not logging in properly. So Crazy
Yeah.
Local is saying, have a seat and grab a drink.
Yeah.
And Rick Lawler is there saying, hey guys, just
Oh,
popping in.
great.
Thanks for hosting and organising such a wonderful weekend event.
That's a pleasure. Real pleasure.
Yes. Tired, but worth it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Crazy Local
Absolutely.
saying, driving to fast food, listening while grabbing lunch. And they say LMAO accurate. And Go For It Painter saying hi to Rick. Crazy Loca is I'm still bleeding from a few smips. And Rick is saying, just saying hi back to Go For It Painting. Talking amongst themselves there. And Chris Crazy Loca is just saying, yeah, AK Facade.
Yep.
Yeah.
Facade,
That's
whatever
it.
you want to say it.
Facade,
Okay,
yeah.
Headley, not to mention some $500 coffee mugs to sweeten the pot.
Yes. Yeah.
Hey, what?
Yeah. So basically, I can't remember the item, but we were getting close to $500, and I said, "Look, guys, if you get over that, or get to, or
It
go over the
was
500 mark."
It was the TIE Fighter.
That's right. Yeah, it was a TIE. No, it wasn't a TIE
Yes.
Fighter.
Yeah. You said if
No,
it
I
gets
did
to
that
700, you throw in a mug.
exactly, but I'd done it the night before on a different item.
Okay.
And a mug was offered as well. That was on Saturday, and a few eyebrows were raised to a degree. And then I said, "Well, Malcolm will sign it, obviously." And it was like, "Hey!" They just went mental, absolutely mental. So yeah, we're organising that. That'll be shipped over to the winner. That's pretty cool. But yeah, there was loads of things like that. Sorry, I'll let you go on the chat.
I just caught up with chat.
Oh, okay, cool. I just suddenly I'm multitasking, and I just thought, oh no, I'm talking too much. So yes, let me just get this where I need it.
I'd like to
So
say that
yeah,
while you're still doing that, then I'd like to say thank you for everyone. Firstly, for participating. It's been a record year for people taking part. Secondly, it's been a record year for people actually sharing the work that they've either completed or partially built. I don't think I've seen so many posts on the Model Officers Mess Facebook page in any preceding year. So that is absolutely amazing to see. And the amount of albums that have been created as well, it's superb.
Yeah.
And just remind everybody that in amongst the albums, there is a reveal post. Please, please, please go in there and share two pictures, your two favorite pictures of what it is you've either completed or partially completed, because we are going to put a little video together and it'll go up on the channel as an additional thank you for everybody taking part. So please go and share a couple of pictures.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. And I did notice, I went through the reveal album this morning actually, and yeah, not everybody's popped their pictures up, so I'll give it a few days before we start editing that video. But very quickly, I want to just shout everybody out from America. There's Bases by Bill. We have talked about some of them already. Decal and Scale Aviation Publications threw in some books and stuff, and that was great books, very, very well detailed. And thank you for the team for doing that for us. We had Tamiya USA. They literally very short email and boxes in the post already to you, on the way to you. And when Scott opened that, I think there was about 15 kits or something like that. Phenomenal, really, really kind of them. So thank you for the team at Tamiya USA. Tankcraft, obviously, they did some stuff as well. I think it was a cutting mat and a glue stand, some tweezers, if I remember off the top of my head.
Some lovely stuff they've got.
Awesome stuff. And I really must sort myself out at Tankcraft, Matt. Value Gear, Steve at Value Gear, an incredibly generous guy. Really, really supportive in the community. He gave some stuff as well, so thank you to Steve. And as I said earlier, we have Furball, new to us this year. Furball aero designs. Multiple items were given in. So thank you very much for that. A big shout out to Jeremy Moore. He donated a 1/16 M10 from Andy's Hobbies. Wow, just that's as a donation from somebody that's just phenomenal. So thank you so much. Brett over at High Altitude Hobbies, he donated along with his business 2 kits. Thank you, Brett. Thank you so much for getting involved. He actually reached out to us to ask if he could be involved. Brilliant. Thank you. Yeah. AK Interactive, Rick Lawler, he helped sort that out. Some great books, some facades, quite a few of those. Some that are a bit rare in America at the moment as well. That was quite interesting.
I believe one of the books was even signed by the author, I believe.
Absolutely. So yeah, and one of them was dispatched to the author or who featured in the book to sign it, so then it could be sent on to the person that won it. And I know Rick signed some stuff as well, and yeah, just honestly awesome. Thank you so much, Rick. And then obviously some of the big hitters for the weekend were donated by Panzer Concepts. I've forgotten the name. BJ slipped off my mind. I'm so sorry. Not only did they donate a kit, but it was actually the kit he's been designing for the last 3 years, which he then signed. So that's a fantastic lot as well. And then, as I say, Andy's Hobbies. Wow.
Wow.
Boys and girls at Andy's Hobbies, thank you so much. The value of what you donated was phenomenal. Just mind blowing. I think there was 2 or 3 1/16 M10s, the both versions, as well as a 1/35 Fan Mag and a 1/16 German half track as well. 251, I think it was, possibly. But yeah, so thank you so much for that. Just phenomenal. Phenomenally generous. I'm really grateful. But also the Americans this year had some surprises. They kept some stuff back, and Scott did tell you, but I didn't even know about them either. And one of the lots was a trio of kits from Meng to do with Dune the movie. I can't remember exactly what they were.
It was 2 ornithopters, one from House Harkonnen and one from House Atreides, and the last one was a sand harvester, a spice harvester.
Yeah, so I actually, one of the reasons I stayed up on Saturday was because I was thinking of bidding, and I promise you I don't joke when I say this. I'm sat there, it pops up, and I'm like, let's show these Americans. Oh, let's have it. Well, I dialed in at least 4 times on my keyboard, if not 5 times, a figure that I was willing to pay. And before I had touched the return button, we'd gone past that. And I mean, within the first few split seconds of it going live. And I'm like, oh no, delete, put another figure in. Oh no, delete. Oh, I was laughing at myself, but obviously I didn't win it. It went for a very, very strong figure. I think it was about $500 off the top of my head. Just phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. And again, they were something that had only just come out as well, so that's pretty cool. So yeah, all in all, the auction in the States, they earned last year, I think I'm right in saying this, their auction total was around about $3,500, I seem to remember. They set themselves a target of $5,000, which they passed on the Saturday. That's how strong the bidding was. But their total for the whole of the weekend was $8,683, which is phenomenal. So kudos to everybody that got involved with the auction, everyone that donated something. Kudos to the team, Darren and Scott. If you look back at the last few minutes of the last episode or last part, you can tell in both of their faces that they are running on adrenaline only. Everything else has gone. They were wiped out. But they were so emotional and humbled by the figure, as was I when I saw it. So I've been there. I know that feeling. So well done, everyone in the States. You guys have been awesome.
Yep.
And in Australia, obviously, in the UK and everywhere. But yeah, absolutely super amazing. And that will go into the pot, of which anyone that has one.
Before you do the grand total, we'll do chat and all the rest of that stuff. Okay.
Yeah, I'll come back to you in 2 secs. Before we reveal any totals, I do need to say that if anyone has won anything in the auctions, sending emails and getting in contact, don't worry about it too much. I have sent the emails out for the UK this morning, but I have not had a chance to do anything else. There's a big spreadsheet that's coming over from the States. As soon as that's compiled and put over to me, I will contact you with the way and how to do the payments, etc. And then obviously the same in Australia. That will be dealt with probably tomorrow. But don't panic. If you've not heard anything, don't panic. If you do want to get in contact with me, it's super simple. It's modelofficer@gmail.com. And you can drop me an email and just say, "Oh, I won this lot. I haven't heard anything, etc." It's not a problem. But yeah, bear with us. The admin of all that is quite immense. So we will get onto it, I promise. But I'm not going to tell you the total at the moment because obviously one of the things is that obviously the payments for all those auction lots have not come in yet, so they've not come into us and then been transferred over. Some of the lots are ready to. Well, I think all of the lots are ready to rock and roll. So once they're paid and we've made sure we've got the shipping details correct, they will go out to you as soon as possible. So just bear with us. I think certainly in the next few days, the Australian and the UK will all be on their way to you. But we'll keep you posted, so don't worry too much. What were you going to say, Carl?
No, nothing.
Oh, okay.
That's fine.
Bit of water, sorry. 28 people watching. I'll just quickly have a quick look at the chat. I have no idea where we're at.
Bobby G. Yeah, hi guys, congratulations.
Oh, is that the one we've read out? Not read it out.
No, not read it.
Okay, so Bobby G's up next then. He said, "Hi guys, congratulations on an amazing weekend. I can't believe how much money was raised. You should all be very proud of yourselves. I'm definitely going to join in next year. Amazing community." Thank you, Bobby. Crazy's just saying both Wilder books and his AK books fully applause. Absolutely. Facebook Yuka says, "Hi, James."
Stuart Avery.
Stuart. Hi, Stuart. Thank you very much. Yes, the 251. Remember, because of the conversion kit too. Yes, that's right. Yes, one of the surprise bits in the auction was a conversion kit, which has either not been released yet or just about to be released. So basically you get it. You're one of the first people to get it in your hand. So fantastic. That went for a good sum of money as well. Jeremy's just saying you should have jumped on with your whiskey. It might have helped my speech a little bit more. You're right, but I'm trying my best. No, I know what you mean. No, you don't want me to come on a live stream after a couple of whiskeys and a couple of Guinness, no. Especially after a hard weekend. Whoa. No, I was misbehaving as it was, which I apologise to the team because, anyway, let's not go there. Yes, I'd had quite a bit. Yeah, they blew the target up. So reset it for 8,500 and nailed it. Yeah, absolutely they did. Then that bearded veteran told us how many people the auction amount would help, which would be 191 plus. We Americans were blown away at that. So thanks for letting us help. Yeah. So what Mike actually means by that, if you take the value of the first box that goes out to a beneficiary when they first get involved with a charity, that's how much it would cost to send out a box full of tools, kits, cutting board, and all the peripherals you might need to start you doing your modeling and using that as your therapy. So yeah, it is quite amazing actually just how many people we will help for the money we've raised. I'm going to tease you just for a little bit longer. We're not going to be on for very long because obviously Steph falling off the stool into a snoring fit would not be good to see, although quite funny. And I need to get to bed too. So we won't be on much longer. So, but before we get to the total, because there is sort of a running total or a rough idea what the total may be at the end of it all. That's going to take a little while to confirm. Probably about a week or more, I guess. One of the things in which us three, wanted to talk about was the next year, actually. So, Carl, do you want to talk a little bit about that?
No, you go for it. I am just going to change the brand at the top of the corner, so we're all ready for next year. So
yeah,
most of the artwork is already done. So yeah, there we go. It doesn't look much different, but there are differences in there. The outer edges are now red, and they are red for a reason, which James will cover in a minute. And we put in the 2025. You can't see it on this little logo. There is going to be merch next year. I am in the process of designing all the merch for next year. There's not going to be a huge amount of choices. We're thinking of probably about 4 items at the moment. So there'll be an apron, a hat, a t-shirt, a mug, and maybe a key ring. So watch this space. The artwork's being done, and we can get it nice and prepped, nice and early, because we want to be a lot more organized for next year. So that is coming. So I'm working on that. Some of the basic artwork has already been done. So yeah, like I say, we're trying to get a little bit ahead of the game this time.
Yeah, we've actually both Carl and I have been sat at the desk for a good few hours this afternoon going through next year's look. The slides, as Carl alluded to, all the slides are done. They're all done. The only thing that's not is what the auction slides and stuff. But I'll talk about that in a minute. I'll talk about what our thoughts and plans are. The reason being is the reason it's us three is because we've had a little chat between us about what thoughts we might have for the following year, and yeah, we had some thoughts and we kicked some ideas around, and it's grown a bit of legs. So Steph won't know. I'd asked Steph to tell you about it, but Steph won't know what me and Cole have been plotting today. So
well, you discussed something with me this afternoon.
I did, but it's grown from that too.
A little bit.
Well,
no, a little bit, not much.
Not much, no. And I'll explain that as we go. So obviously, one of the things in which we tend to do at the end of these things is we sit down and do a debrief, a little bit like this, but to ask everybody their thoughts, what went right or what went wrong, what can we improve on, and all that sort of stuff. So we're already in that process, and that will go on for a little while. So the format won't change greatly. You won't see a great difference, but the format for us and how we do it will change for next year, definitely. We've already highlighted a couple of areas in which that's going to happen. So I'm just scanning very quickly at the chat to make sure we're up to date, because I don't want to miss anything, and it might give you a little few minutes to
Yeah,
of
Kit
extra
Headley's got a good
anticipation.
idea there, and Scott, he's at Scale Studio, saying thank you for a successful weekend. But Kit Headley, I like that idea. I might have a look into that.
Yes, I do as well.
Yes, I think that's a good idea. So if we do take these kits to a show, we can put a little coin on to show that they were done within 48 hours for Models for Heroes for the model officer's birthday bash.
Yeah, it's what they call in the military a challenge coin.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
well done. That's a little bit of a hint.
Mm.
Yeah. So
yes, I like that
okay.
idea. I will look into that.
Yeah, we're open to any suggestions from you guys as well, obviously, and any comments, feedback. What if something didn't quite work for you, or I mean, a little bit like during the stream, someone said about the background and it was causing problems for them. So we immediately sorted that. Wasn't a problem. We did have a sort of a backup anyway, but we've had a discussion about that, and we've classed that. Although it was good in some respects, it was there were issues with it. So that's that. So so there'll be a few changes and bits and pieces. Obviously, as we do every year, we grow and grow and grow. And next year, we are hoping to have a few more new faces on the screen, a few more new hosts on the screen. I already have 3 lined up for next year that have contacted me today saying they want to get involved. So that's going to make things a whole lot more easier. In many ways, but anyway, without further ado, let's talk about next year. Carl, can you just double check your messenger for me, please, and answer via messenger? Steph, can you also do the same? And I'm very sorry that I'm doing this live on air because I meant to do it earlier and I forgot. So next year, so one of the things in which has come from us. Or to us in feedback is the element of the 48 in 48 and the perception that it has to be a 1/48 kit. We've said all along, and we have loosened a little bit more every now and again, but we've said all along, the whole purpose of this event is there is a challenge. Yeah, if you don't want to do the challenge, the other part of it is by being involved. So it doesn't have to be a 1/48 kit. So if that's not your jam, or you don't want to start another kit or any of those things, it doesn't matter. Obviously, if you're building within the 48 hours, then get involved with that challenge and shout from the rooftop that you're in the challenge and how you do and all the rest of it. It's fine. The other part of it is whether you finish or not. There's never been any capacity or requirement for you to finish. It's just about getting involved. So that's always been the case and will always be the case. What we want to do is we want to try and improve and include everybody we can. So the more people that get involved, the more inclusive we can be, etc., etc. So that is our aim. So the real thing is the first thing is get involved. Yeah. Now that when I say that could be a couple of hours, the whole weekend or day or whatever you can spare. Just get involved. That's all that matters. Get involved in the auctions. Get involved in bending a little bit of plastic or chatting to the people that are streaming or other things. So obviously this year we did the Discord, which worked really, really well. Really happy with that. Well, there's a few things, little creases that we've got to iron out, but we'll have that up and running right from the beginning next year, and it'll be problem free. I know it will, because the admin team are already planning, they're already looking at it. So that's going to be cracking. And again, that goes back to the participation part. If you can only go into a hangout that's on Discord and have a chat, swap experiences, maybe if you're an ex-service person, or just find out what's the charity do. There will be beneficiaries there that are more than willing to talk to you about what it's done for them. That's that you've ticked that box. Brilliant. The other thing with the challenge, as I say, is finishing. If you don't finish, doesn't matter. You got halfway through. You only had 2 hours. and you did a cockpit. It's fine. You got involved, and that's all that matters. But I want to keep that challenge aspect to it. Now, what we're going to discuss now is what we are definitely going to do for next year. Scott is just saying it is BJ DeBecker. That's right, from Panzer Concepts. Absolutely right, spot on. Sorry, literally was in my head, and you know what it's like when it just disappears. Anyway, yeah, thanks, Guy. Yeah, lost track now. Oh yeah, so the challenge element is what we want to keep. So we've sat down and thought about how can we do this challenge and what can we do and what will people be receptive and all that. So first of all, 2025, the date to book for 2025 is the 14th of March. That weekend starts on 14th of March, Friday the 14th of March at 7:30. At the moment, the time might change a little by half an hour. But for now, 7:30, 14th of March, book it now with your bosses to make sure you're there, and talk to the partners and make sure that works for them and all that and the other. So, yeah, we definitely will be up and running on that date. That's the first part. The second part is we are going to set you a challenge this year. For 2025. We are going to send you into a spin, I hope, of excitement and exploration and new experiences and all that sort of thing. But before we tell you exactly what that's about, one thing in which we're going to do, we're going to talk to our partners and our donators. We've already selected a couple in our mind who we're going to approach. And one has already been approached this afternoon with the idea. I can't say too much about that at the moment because I've got to make sure that's locked down because I don't want to make a donor or a partner feel obliged by that. But the idea will be something along these lines. So instead of saying to you, it's this kit and you must build this kit, we're not going to do that at all. A little bit like this year, where, as you can see from Carl on his desk, a group of us in the UK built a certain kit. We're not going to do that. But we'd like to do something along those lines. So what we're going to do is we're going to select a couple of kits of which you can choose to do the following two. Now, remember, this is called the Bonus Challenge Cup. The reason for that is because it's a bonus onto the challenge that already exists of the do a kit within 48 hours. Okay. So the Bonus Challenge Cup for 2025 will be a choice of one of two kits or both, if you wish. And you must do one of two things to this kit. Let's keep it simple for now. Let's say it's one kit you've selected. And let's say it is because we haven't chosen them yet, so don't get worried. But let's say, for example, it's a 148th Airfix Spitfire. I mentioned it because it's there in front of me. No other reason. So with this kit, the suggested kit, you can do one of three things. You can take it out of the box, you can build it, and you can do exactly what it says in the instructions, and that is the kit of choice. Done. Or you can build the kit using aftermarket of any description whatsoever, be it markings, decals, for example, resin and all that sort of stuff. Super upgrade that kit. And the final part of the challenge or choice within the challenge is you are to build a model. And notice I say a model with at least 3 parts from that kit. Now that opens it up to all sorts of crazy stuff. You can do a complete scratch build of something and add a pilot seat on it because there's 3 parts of that kit that make up that pilot seat. And that's it. You've crossed that challenge. You can build a different kit and put a pilot seat on the back of it, for example. But you must use at least 3 parts of that kit in your build. You could, if you were Mr. Rick Lawler, for example, he could get one of his bits of foam out and make a diorama and put a pilot seat on it that's made of 3 parts, and he's met the challenge. The world is your oyster, but remember, it is a bonus challenge cup. Doesn't mean you got to get a cup. Nope. It is just purely a bonus challenge. So if you wish to accept that challenge, that's what you sign up for. If you wish to accept the challenge of a 48-hour build, regardless of what scale it is, it can be a 1/148 0 for all I care. As long as it is an unstarted kit, and that means no glue, no paint, you've accepted that challenge and you've met that challenge. Again, with all of these challenges, you do not have to finish. As long as you take up that challenge, that's what you're signing up for. If you don't want to get involved with a 48-hour, mindset of I got to get it done, or the bonus challenge cup, but you have a set of figures that you've been painting and you want to finish them and you want to sit in the hangout, you can do that too. You're still taking part. So yeah, next year we are really going to go mad, and we're going to try our best to create as much problem as we can. I've got a problem with Facebook for some reason. I don't know why, but that's fine. So there you go. Challenge, and challenge. That is the aim, and the aim is realistically, the aim is to bear in mind what we did this year. It's all about community. So I want you to know now what's going to happen next year, because the community can talk about it and everyone can get really excited and talk about it with their ideas and brainstorm and all that sort of stuff. That's what I want to happen. To facilitate that, what we're going to do, not arranged yet, but what we are definitely going to do is we're going to work with our partners, friends of Models for Heroes, and the Discord room that they've got. And I'm going to put to them, I haven't done it yet, but I'm going to put it to them that throughout this year, in the run up to the 14th of March 2025, that we're going to organize some get-togethers where you can come and talk to them in their Discord, maybe a little build-off night or something. I don't know. It's up to them, because I can't. It's their group and their Discord. So I'm just throwing this idea out at them. The idea being is you can all spitball this idea and throw things around. And I think if we generate that sort of conversation throughout the next 12 months, I'm pretty certain there'll be quite a few people that will be up for the challenge. And just remember, the bonus challenge cup is 3 parts from that kit. Just 3 parts. They must be identifiable so we can see where they've come from, but just 3 parts. That's all you need. Or you can go mad and build half the kit. For example, if we're talking about Spitfire, you could build the Spitfire body on tracks. You could stick it on the back of a truck. You could. There's just 101 different things you could do. You could stick it in a farmyard in pieces. It's just. It really depends on what you want to do. But I know for a fact that Rick is just saying that, and Rick obviously is invited for next year as well. But he says this sounds fun. Challenge will be accepted. Count me in. So yeah. So what we might do also in the run up to the event, what we might do is we might try and think of some tips that may help you with your build, and we're going to reach out to people like Rick and ask them to do a little video on it along those lines. This is all spitballing because I haven't finalized everything. The last part of this challenge is we're going to throw the challenge to our partners and see what they can do to help facilitate that challenge. And one of them has already been contacted today in that light. So I won't say any more about that because I don't want them put under any pressure at all. And I don't quite know where that part of the idea will go. But 100%, 100%, there will be the event, the come along and be with us, build with us, paint whatever with us. There is the challenge, of the 48-hour build, and that is any scale, any subject you want, and the bonus challenge cup, which would be a Pacific kit where you only have to use a minimum of 3 parts out of that kit. What do you think in the chat? I think we're crazy, but us three are guilty for that, I'm afraid.
It's there's a lot of people in chat are saying interesting, challenge accepted.
Oh God, yes.
I got all year to scheme. Crazy Logan saying I've got all year to scheme on this one. And he's saying I'll ask him. Please, Rick, another tip video, please. And we got the scratch builder himself in saying challenge scratch building. Very interested.
Yeah, I spoke to Rick Saturday, I think it was. We were chatting just before we went live with the American part, and Rick has already said to me that if we need any help with tips and that sort of thing, he'll do it, not a problem. So I know he'll be on board for that. And the other thing, while we're just talking about that sort of thing, Rick has also agreed that his tip video that you saw over this weekend, one of my favorite tip videos. I love them all, but he's one of my favorites just because of the subject matter, really. That's going to be released on YouTube in the year during this year to aid you with some tips, and all the guys and girls that have helped with tip videos. That's pretty much where what will be going on with them too, as long as I've got their permission, of course. And I think I'm pretty certain 99% have already said yes. So, but we will have some new tip videos next year. We're gonna make sure we get that done. We've got a year to organise it, and hopefully with this extra challenge, maybe some of those people that do the YouTube videos and the tip videos and all that sort of thing, I don't want to say professional modelers, because some are definitely, that's their income, that's what they do for a living, and some do it as a hobby, and they're just incredibly good at what they do. But they'll all be asked, as many people as I can, and we'll get as many videos as we can and make sure that happens throughout the weekend anyway. And again, with the idea that after the event, they'll be released over the coming year in 2025. So I'm going to come to the guys bench in just 2 seconds. Let me very quickly just go run through the chat. If I miss anybody out, sorry, but my voice is going. 24 people watching. Like Carl just said, the challenge. Oh yes, lovely. That's a message between him and Crazy. Grant S. He's saying sounds fantastic. Not that good yet, but would definitely be in on the OOB box, out of the box build. Grant, I'm not picking on you when I say this, but just be aware. The guys actually are going to help you with that a little bit. What I plan to do, and I would think Steph probably might try and program in as well, maybe Carl too, is I'm going to try and do a few videos over the year to give you a little bit of a taster, if you like, of just what that could look like and be done. But yeah, you don't count yourself out yet. Honestly, you'd be very surprised. Who wants to go first out of you two?
I've got a video coming out soon for scratch building, and it'll be show you how to scratch build something like this, which is the laser turret tower from the Death Star, which is effectively, that is what the Bandai one looks like, and I've just doubled the size of it, scratch building using plastic card, and it is not difficult to do.
That is brilliant, Carl.
It's not difficult to do at all. So I've got a video of that coming soon. And yeah, doing little explosions. You don't need to put lights in the explosions to do them. So yeah,
nice.
Cool. There are stuff coming. Scratch building things like this. Steph's got an even better example on his desk. This is just pretty much a Yakult bottle, which is in the center, and I'm type 1 diabetic, so I've got injection pens here. That's just that. You've got the sensor that's sitting on the front. These are turrets from tanks. You know, bits and pieces from other kits. You just slap them on wherever you want them and just paint it. It looks like complete garbage before you paint it, but once you paint it, it all comes together superbly. And like I say, Steph has a better example of a scratch-built spaceship on his desk. This thing that he's got is amazing.
Thank
and
you.
not difficult to make.
No, it's not. There's so many different kits. The AH-64 is the main body there, the main section there. The two halves of the front part are from an F-16, just widened using plasticard. The tail boom is the rotors from the AH-67, same as the engines. That tail section is from a World War II Walrus. F-16 wings face backwards with panels on. Now, good one to watch. Go and watch Adam Savage. He has a great tutorial video on how to cut styrene into the correct style of shapes. Teaches you how to do nicks in them and bits and pieces. Brilliant. Parts of a wheel well, those two there. That is the Sherman tank track. I just snipped the sides off, and the sides I snipped off I used on the ramp at the back. You can just about see it in there.
Oh yeah.
So I use those. The engines are off, I believe, an F-18. These are all different scales, completely different scales. T-34 red wheels, a jet engine out of something, a radiator out of something. That's just a bit of sprue across there for the radiator to sit onto. A brake disc, just anything that looks like it goes. The best advice that I have heard, Savage, when I was watching that, don't just glue something in place. It's like that. The air flap, the air brake. I had that in so many different positions, and then I finally settled on there. It's like, get a bit and go, okay, I've got two of these parts. They look similar. So where can I put them? And then just move them around. And then all of a sudden you'll go, oh, yeah, I like that. Yes, we'll have that. It's very, very, I have never in my life made something like this from my imagination. And I was always petrified of it. It always scared the bejesus out of me. And then when I started doing it, and it's like, it ain't that hard. If it looks good, if it looks right, it usually is. And if it looks good, it's right. And I actually even gave it a little smiley face. So, yeah, I will be kit bashing next year. Big stuff. I'm just waiting to see what the donor kits are. So, I'm excited already. I've just woken up.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, those are two great examples. I mean, the example that Carl showed, I think that was one of the challenges we did in the birthday build, wasn't it? Wasn't that a birthday build? No, it wasn't. Okay. No, that's right. Yeah, we did.
The Messerschmitt wings are not Messerschmitt. These are Fokker wings out of one of the kits that we did for the birthday bash.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
I remember the link now. Yeah, so I mean, obviously you've got some builds that you've just finished or will finish very soon, and no doubt that kit will have a few bits and pieces in it and gribblies that you can keep. And just remember the Star Wars. All of the Star Wars things were made from bits of kits. So you want inspiration, it's out there.
Yeah, my AT from a few years ago had extra bits on it, and they were just stolen from another kit. Well, every time I finish a kit, there's always spare bits. They get cut off and put into a box, and you just scrat around the box until you got to find that thing that fits where it needs to go.
Absolutely. So, like I say, you could go down the road that Carl has gone and just make sure there's 3 bits from that kit on that that model. So your mind is your friend. It will help you, but also could be your enemy because it might send you on a completely different tangent that you may have thought of at the time.
Yes, you may end
but
up with
you've
a
got
model that's 4 feet long.
Yeah, the new Star Wars destroyer or something. But you've got a year to mull it through. So what we're going to do over the next 12 months is we will do little releases, little teasers of things. We will tell you what sort of kits are involved. Now, these may be the same kit worldwide, or they may be a kit that's time zone Pacific. That meaning that we're trying to make sure that it's easy for you guys to get hold of and stuff. So we'll keep you posted on that. Obviously, we've got a lot more admin stuff in the background to do before we can release that information and how we're going to do it and all that sort of stuff. But hopefully some of our partners get involved with that, and that's super exciting. And that's literally fresh off the idea tin. None of the other hosts are aware of that at all, so this will become news to them too, which I will message them in a minute, in a few minutes. Once we've finished here, I'll message them and tell them that what we've decided to do. But yeah, stay tuned for that. It's going to be super exciting. And like I say, don't panic about it. That it sounds like a really big thing, but it really isn't. You could literally get a couple of bits of foam to carve out and play with, make a house or something, and put a Spitfire seat made of 3 parts by the front door. I've got a house up the road, funny enough, that's got a windmill made out of a drop tank from the Second World War. I could recreate that and do some other bits and pieces in the garden or something, or it could be as complicated as you want to make it. So that's the idea, is to, like I said, I'll just repeat, next year's 48 is that the first thing you're signing up to is to be involved. That's it. Just to be there. Paint whatever you've got, make whatever you've got, not a problem. Don't have to finish. There's no restriction on anything with that. Or there is the challenge, which is the 48-hour challenge, which means you're building a kit of your choice. And remember, choice is key. You can look at some kits and stuff. A really great kit, for example, in 48 hours is the 148th BMW sidecar, motorbike and sidecar. It's not that many pieces. You can put it together relatively quickly. You can do loads of stuff to it, painting. And if you want to experiment with a bit of diorama, you can do that too, if you wish. If you just want to do the motorbike and sidecar, that's it. That's a fairly relatively easy kit for you to do. If you've got any family members that you want to drag in and get involved in it, that you get them to sit and do an egg plane, for example, which wouldn't take too long to do. All those sort of things are all within the capabilities of doing within 48 hours, and puts no pressure on you. So kit choice is key in that department. Then of course you've got the challenge of a Pacific kit that we will tell you what that'll be in your time zone. And then you've got the bonus challenge cup, which is to go mad with your ideas and your creativity. So that's what we've got planned for next year. That's going to start on Friday the 14th of March, and will run for 48 hours in all the time zones. So just to refresh your memory as who got involved this year, we had Australia, New Zealand, Singapore, people in Hong Kong, Norway, Sweden, Belgium, Netherlands, UK, Canada, and US. So we cover quite a few bits of the time zone. But realistically, if there is no one else in your time zone that wants to get involved, and you say, for example, you live in Argentina or Mexico, just sign up. I'm from Argentina. I'm accepting this part of the 48-hour and 48-hour build challenge. Or I'm going to be involved, etc. And just be involved, get the community going. So that's the news. Obviously, we're going to reach out to our partners and donators. in the coming months in the coming days and weeks, to be honest, to say thank you, first of all, for everything they've done. They've all been superstars and the wonderful things in which they've given us to auction off, and ask them if they want to be involved next year. We'll let you know nearer the time in relation to that. One thing that will change in the auction, I tell you now, we won't be advertising everything that we've got. We will be very, very limited in telling you what we've got. We will tell you the sponsors, but we won't tell you what those sponsors are giving us. And hopefully we can follow in the footsteps of the Australians and the Americans and have some pretty exciting items in all of the auctions, including the UK. But we'll work on that over the 12 months. The admin team will be on that like hotcakes, driving all of our donors mad, I'm sure. But yeah, so and hopefully one of the other things in which we're going to ask all of our donors to do, which we've done in the past but we didn't do this year, we're going to ask them to give you a message and get them involved, and hopefully get them in the chat at the very least during the event to talk to you and maybe get involved in some form or other. We won't have them in the streams, and all the sponsors will be treated as equally as possible with the time in which we talk about, and everyone will get a thank you. Obviously, they're not in it for anything other than helping the community, all of them. So that's not important to them, but it's important to me. So I think that's it. I don't think there's anything else to discuss, is there?
No, not at this time.
No.
No.
Well, thank you for tuning in, everybody. We're going to leave it there. I'm joking. Of course, there's one other thing to talk about.
We might go quiet for a while, but yeah, things are being worked.
Yeah. So 23 people watching. Obviously, Malcolm is busy with the charity this evening, so can't be here. But I would like to give you a provisional total. Every year we set a target, and every year I'm amazed at the generosity of our donors and you in the auctions, as well as donating through the Just Giving page. Every year it blows me away. This year, as you all know, is very, very tight on money across the world. The world's got a bit crazy. And we bought a little bit of sanity in many ways, and a bit of insanity through the auctions to wade us through the what life gives us right now. So I went into this event thinking that we wouldn't raise very much money because times are tough, and we fully expected not to. However, what I can tell you, our total last year was, Carl, do you remember?
8,000 and a few £100, I believe.
Yeah, so we were just over the 8,000. I think it was 8,164 off the top of my head, something like that.
Thereabouts.
And we were, I think what we aimed to get was 4,000 or 5,000 off the top of my head.
Yeah, I think the target was 4.
Yeah. So. Oh, that's right. It was 4 because we doubled it. Mm-hmm. Correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, blew us away last year. This year, as I said, because of the reasons I've already mentioned, we went for a target that was £3,000 overall. The donations started very, very early. In fact, two days after I put the link out, £100 was dropped there and then. I forget the person, but thank you very much for that. And the money donations through the Just Giving page have continued all the way through the weekend. It will be open for a little while, mainly because obviously the money we gather from the auction will go into that same pot. So we have a transparent view of exactly what we generated. So so we didn't expect to be anywhere near our total, but I'm glad to tell you, in fact, gobsmacked to tell you that the total looks to be over £9,000 this year.
Bloody hell.
And I can't tell you how amazed I am. There is no doubt, and I've already said it in this stream, the Americans really, they really dug deep.
They've carried the flame donations. They really have.
Oh,
Yeah.
they have. They've been absolutely amazing. You know, the
Yeah.
guys that bought things in the auctions have just been fantastic. So for Malcolm to receive £9,000 plus from a 48-hour event is just phenomenal.
Yeah. Thank you.
And puts me in a bit of a dither because I don't know what we're going to do next year at all. Because the Americans have already said they raised just over $8,000 this year, and they've already stuck a couple on top of that through suggestions of what might be the total next year. So it looks like 2025 is going to be a year of extras, extra donations, extra targets to hit, extra videos, extra challenges, indeed, extra interaction, and communities getting involved. The year of extras is 2025, so I'm really looking forward to it. You guys, everyone that's watched, everyone that's been, we've had 35, 40 people watching every single stream, and the views, I can tell you, on YouTube have been around the 450, 500 mark every single part. I've not looked since we finished at all. The views is not something that drives my channel. I'm not that worried. All I'm worried about is the people getting a bit of entertainment out of it and enjoy it. The rest doesn't really matter to me. But the only reason I looked was because I was copying and pasting the description to make sure they were all correct and all the same. So yeah, the just phenomenal. So a massive pat on your back, guys, for your hard efforts. Congratulations for the amount of people you've just saved through your donations and the charities work. That will make a massive difference, indeed. So there we go. That is where we're up to. Let me just go over to the chat very quickly. We are going to wrap up in a minute or two. Malcolm is aware of the total. I told him this morning. I can't repeat his response, but it was 2 words, and there was a H in there along the way, so you can gather exactly what that means. So everybody's just talking about the challenge and saying that counting him in and all that sort of stuff. A comment there. I thought you were going to say Edward's Tempest would be a great choice. Oh yeah, that's in relation to picking the right kit. Yeah, don't worry. That the kit choice will go through a committee. It won't be me making the choice. I can tell you. Mike there, Crazy Loco, saying, well done, you 3. It's not us 3. There's a whole bundle of people. Oh, actually, that's something I haven't done, actually. I'll do that in a minute, actually. So, yeah, you know, all the hosts, all the people that were on the streams, all the people behind the scenes helping with the administrational part of it, all the people that took part in the commitment of being there for the weekend, the Discord crew, the people that just popped in for an hour, you know, everybody that's posted their pictures up on the Facebook group and just got involved. It's phenomenal, really phenomenal. It's not about one person, it's about everybody that got involved.
Rick Lawler's little post there.
I'll come to that. Harry's saying fantastic and clapping. Mike is thumbs up. Nunu saying, blimey, well done, guys. Yeah, really. Jim is saying, hey there, guys. Hi, Jim.
Hi, Jim.
You come just at the right moment. Well, you come at the wrong moment because you don't know what's happened it's going to happen next year, but you'll have to catch up on that. Bobby G saying, incredible, guys. Congratulations. Mike is just saying, blows my mind that our goofing around with plastic, paint and glues does so much help for so many people. Yeah, you're not wrong there at all. And while I've highlighted you, Mike, it's been said all the way through the stream, and you are a massive ambassador to helping YouTubers and modelers and all that sort of stuff. And you know, we all love you for that. But one thing I must say to you personally is thank you for being so involved this year. Because you were almost, I think you were basically the chat admin. most of the time, reminding us,
Yeah.
take a break, the dancing, all the comments you've made. It's been fantastic. You've done that through every single stream. So you are a star, a legend, and a superstar. So thank you so much for that.
Thank you, Mike.
Yes.
Jim just says, thanks to everyone for doing their part, all parts, bringing this great event together. A great privilege for to donate and take part in the whole weekend, start to finish. Yes, absolutely. Rick Lawless says that except for the revolution thing back in the day, we were a good bunch. Well, not everybody can get on all the time, but we watch and look after you from afar.
If ever you need us to come back, we're here.
Yes,
Yep.
what was it King George said? Was it King George? No, I can't remember who it was. There was a film where someone said, and how I know it was A Great Escape, when they ask the American in the camp, and how are the colonies doing over there exactly? Yes, we did take an interest. Howard's saying really enjoyed these streams, dipped in and out through the weekend, but great work in all. Thank you. No, it's our pleasure indeed. Mike's doing a bit more dancing there. I'm just a rusty crusty truck driver in polyester.
Oh,
as long as it's not a mankini and there's not a picture of evidence of it, Mike, it doesn't matter to me.
Yeah.
Scott saying fantastic achievement. James and the group making him look good. Have done something amazing this weekend.
We've come a long way since that first weekend, James. Let's say that.
Yep.
When there was like 5 or 6 of us.
Yeah.
And we all bought a Fokker.
Yeah. Yeah. There has been times since we've had or I started the group, where we try to do things like that, and it's. I wouldn't say disappointing because that's wrong. It's just not been engaged with as much as we'd hoped. But it is becoming bigger and bigger every year.
To grow every single year. It has since the first year. The second year, there was more of us. The year after that, there was people that weren't coming on the stream that were getting involved. And then the year after that, there was lots of people getting involved. So.
Well, it's a little bit like I was saying to JB on Saturday or Sunday, when we were talking about the how things are going and stuff, and he said to me, since we changed the rules and allowed anything, it's a massive impact to the community, etc. And he's right. We did change rules to a degree, but one of the biggest parts and one of the hardest parts for us right from the beginning is trying to explain exactly what we meant by what we were saying.
Yes.
And although we wrote the rules down and we tried to make it all very, very correct, we accidentally made it very formal, which put people off because they're like, oh well, it's a little bit like entering my model at a show. I'm not gonna worry about that. And we've managed to change people's minds a little bit and interest people along the way. Anyway. My voice is starting to go. So the last chat I will read out will be from Jim. He says, we can achieve Churchill's statement of a new world coming to save the old world or something like that. Absolutely.
Yes.
So there you go, guys and girls. Thank you again for I'm just going to wrap up and then the guys will wrap their bit up as well. Thank you for everybody that got involved. Thank you for the money that we've raised. It's a humble experience. It's really cool. I hope that what we've got planned for next year floats your boat. If it doesn't, the full end of it, find somewhere in the middle or at the other end, because there is always space for you to get involved and your friends. So you are our ambassadors. So hopefully next year we will have, because you're going to be speaking to your fellow modelers and friends about the event. We're going to have so many more people involved. It's going to be a blast. So a massive thank you from me. Do you want to wrap up as well, Steph, in any way?
Yep. Yes, I'd just like to say, fingers itching already. I'm so looking forward to this next year's one. That's going to be brilliant. As a like James and Carl, I'm a volunteer for Models Heroes, but I was also a beneficiary. What they did and what my wife has helped with is saving my life. There's no two ways about it. Models for Heroes saved my life. Simple as. And your donations will do that. It will save lives. So all I can say is on behalf of all the beneficiaries that will be receiving stuff and the guys that have received stuff in the previous year, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. You are amazing. The most generous group of people I've ever come across, modelers. Brilliant. Thank you.
Well said, Steph. Thank you very much.
Very
Carl?
well said.
Anything
Again,
you
I'd like
wanna
to
add in?
thank everybody that's been involved. If you've been involved for a minute or the whole weekend, thank you very much. And I just want to remind everyone, please, 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 go to the Model Officers Mess Facebook group and please make an album, share your pictures. We want to see what you've done. And put your 2 favorite pictures into the reveal album. And here's to 2025. Really looking forward to see what we do next year. Thank you again, everybody.
Thank you. Well said. Yeah.
Well said, Carl.
Yeah, I'm not going to echo everything that's been said because it's all been said. You guys are awesome, and you're the people that keep me humble. So thank you very much. And look out for the news and the reveals of the builds.
Yes.
When we do that, I'm going to leave it as long as I can to make sure we get as many pictures as we can in there.
Yes.
So we can shout everybody out. So please make sure you do that. But also look out for the newsletter that will be coming out. I'm not going to promise because I'm not great at keeping to my promises. But if there's news, it will be in a newsletter, and that could be monthly. It could be every other month. It could be every quarter. It could be anything. But you need to keep an eye on it because this thing has got legs and it is already running. So 2025 is going to be a massive, massive event. It's going to be great, great fun. We're really going to pull the stops out, and I can't wait till that happens. So until the next time we talk,
Mikey and Gary on Discord, thank you.
Actually, thank you very
Yes.
much for reminding me.
Well
I did
done,
say
chaps.
earlier that was one thing I'd forgotten to do, and that was to thank all the hosts. So the hosts, Ian, Callum, and John in Australia, Steph, Carl, and Craig. Yes, sorry, thank you. Steph, Carl, Stefan, and Miranda. Yeah. And I've lost track completely of all the names. Darren
Peter.
and Scott in America, they run the whole show. How they did it, I've got no idea.
Yeah.
It was very, very busy. And everybody that's been on the live stream, thank you so much for giving up your weekend and being with us. And I know you're tired because I feel it too. But until 2025 or before the next time we speak to you, no doubt we'll do another stream nearer the time to keep you up to date with what's going on.
Yes.
Until then, sleep well, look after yourself, look after your neighbour, and bend some plastic. Take care.
Bye. Stay safe. Keep modeling. Bye.